All right, y'all, we are back, man. Classic Conversations with JT and Lo.
Ask a cop.
Listen, I'm looking at my live and I don't see no buttons being touched. See, when you hit those buttons, your faces fly up the screen. So I need for y'all to hit those buttons because every time you hit the button, it's going to help our...
He 0 for 2.
Go up. Oh, algorithm. I'm reading it.
He 0 for 2.
I even pointed at it.
Low, you're needed.
Look, I tried to point at it.
Come back.
Let me,
I'm sitting up there reading, once again, number one fan. I'm reading her comment.
Yes, it's going to help our algorithms go up, man. We need y'all to go to those. Go to Spotify, YouTube, also Amazon Music, man. Go over there and follow and also share. We need for you to do that. Comment real quick. Kiki said, what's up, Kiki? In no way do I see it as sexual assault. I most definitely would have hung up because that's creepy to me, but she didn't. But she ain't hang up the phone. Number one said, I know, right? She must have loved his sounds.
That's heavy.
He stayed through the whole phone call. You know what I'm saying? So
there's a lot you'd have to go with. They're gonna look at the duration of a call. You know, it's like a lot. There's something more to it.
I think I think he lost his job.
Yeah,
I think that's going to happen. They have to go this process, let the process play out. But he's already admitted to doing certain things, so I'm sure that he's going to get fired. They already called in the coach that coached them, I think 6 or 7 years ago, Mark D'Antoni. He's coming to help the interim coach. So yeah, it's already set up for him to not come back.
He's not coming back.
I'm sure he'll get another job somewhere, but
as a coordinator, he's not going to have a head
coach. Won't be a head coach.
But he got to be a freak though. To jerk off to somebody named Brenda, like that just is hard. Oh, Brenda. That just throw me off. Like Brenda. Oh, I'm sorry.
And I hope you don't say OB.
OB. Oh, not to be. Brenda calling.
Yeah, telephone got a caller? Or is Angelo still on the line?
That's like messing with Sylvia.
Angelo.
Yo.
Gertrude. Hey, man. Did you hear we was talking about the Michigan State head coach?
Yeah, man. That's what I called for, man. So, let me just say it real briefly. I think it's a sham of what they're doing to him. It's another one of them situations where they really wanted to fire him because the boosters decided that they didn't want to pay that $95 million contract. And this is the way of getting out of the jump. This female, if you do the research on this case, they've talked over 47 times. All the phone calls were 35 to 45-minute durations.
They go together.
Yeah, so this wasn't no one-time thing. It wasn't no short-term thing. It's been going on for a while. And then once, he decided, this was really just play. She took it to the next level. And bam, there you go.
Yeah.
But he was already on the chopping blocks anyway from that season he had last year. And a brother coach at Michigan State, you got a real short window. As it is.
Hey man, when they gave him the contract, I was like, wow. Yeah.
Well, he went 11-2. He went 11-2. They didn't see that coming, but then they stuck it up. So,
are there lubricants involved?
Like, the window's real short, man. This is their way out, and he know it. That's why he already said the hearing they're gonna have was a sham of a hearing. He already know it's gonna be BS. You know what I mean? Because they technically already fired him. They suspended him first, but then they fired him yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're gonna fire him. He basically said it. Like I said, they owe him $77 million on that contract. So they're gonna fire him if nothing but the simple fact that he admitted to participating in this behavior while he was a married man. So
that's in the conduct clause too.
Oh yeah,
that's enough reason for him not to get the remaining
for them money.
Is he married?
What's the second married? The first married is what?
Married. Like, is married, and it's like, I'm just with this chick.
Yeah, I think he's married.
Yeah, he's married.
He's married?
He was married.
Well, he was
he's
married
now.
He married to himself. His hand.
Yeah, he set himself up.
It's kind of hard to just.
Plus, he's been married an amount of years, and she
kind of hard to
divorce.
just be with this chick as
she
a head
definitely
coach
got
of
that
Michigan State. Yeah, that's kind of hard to do. All right, so we're gonna move on.
Yeah, that's all I had, man. I just think it was a straight sham. He getting railroaded, but Unfortunately, that's what happens when you kind of step out there like that. But yeah, that's all that jump was, man. But if you look at the calls, you do the research on the case, this was an ongoing conversation.
Yep.
And I've never seen you get charged or something and get fired. You know what I mean? She could easily. I think Don. What's up, Don? Man, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, boss. How you doing?
Good, man. Don said earlier she could easily hung up. If it offended you so much, hang the phone up. I mean, give me a break. You had 47-minute conversations, but you're distraught. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to believe.
Number one said, over 40 times, ho, please. This is why women are not believed. It's because of hoes like this chick. That's heavy.
Yeah.
You don't get another job.
Yeah.
Defensive coordinator is a big difference in
Yeah, he won't get another head coaching job. No. Now let's go to HBCU. He would never get a Power 5 job again, not as a head coach.
Nah, he gonna get a job. You know, he gonna be on commercial for Vaseline.
He won't get 77 million. He ain't gonna make that.
Well, welcome back, Sugar Sean.
Right.
What happened? Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm here, brother. You know, I was called.
Hey, Lo, Don said, man, they go together.
Right, exactly, man.
Yeah, 40 times.
Hey, sitting on the phone going, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
That's what it is. She put it out there. She can't reel it back in.
Send me a picture.
Yeah, that's how it started, ain't it?
Ooh-wee. Girl, this thing look good. I don't know if I can wait till I see you again.
Yeah.
She can't reel it in. That's
you know what?
You know how it started, right? What you got on?
Yo, but it wasn't live. How you ain't got it on FaceTime though? You just talking and listening.
It's rough, man.
You a deep dude.
Hey man, but y'all keep doing your thing, man. We'll catch up later.
Hey man,
man.
hey bro, send me a top
happening?
5, bro. I ain't that top 5 guy. Send me a top 5 when you get a chance. Just text it to me.
I got a top 5.
Celebrities that got caught masturbating.
I got a top 5.
Number 1.
Pee Wee Herman. Look, you got a whole bunch of them out
Well,
there,
let me
right?
tell you something. Number 1 is
Louis
not stopping.
C.K.
She said, men, you better know your hoes.
Yeah.
Dang, stop it.
Oh God.
Yeah, number 1 fan is right.
That's funny.
Didn't pay one of her
He got
bills.
caught masturbating.
He probably told her something he was gonna do and didn't do it, and then that's what started everything.
He told her she could watch.
You gotta finish how you start.
Literally.
Bad
All right, bro. Enjoy yourself. We'll holler at you.
Enjoy it, man.
All right, man. Okay,
Good time.
y'all are down.
Yep.
All
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Peace.
All right, man. The next topic we're gonna get into, bro, it's kind of something that we've always talked about, but we kind of stopped. I mean, we've touched on it a little bit, but not as much. The mental health thing. I just had a matter of fact, it's the same. You know, I talked about this before. I had a partner of mine try to kill himself. Mm-hmm. Well, he actually tried to do it again, and it's one of those things where you just want to say, you know, bro. He kept telling me. I always ask people, you know, why didn't you reach out? He told me it was because he knows that everybody has their own problems, you know, and he's correct in that thing. But we have to get out of this thing of trying to handle everything on our own. I'm not saying that everybody has to reach out to somebody, but when you start getting to that point, I have another friend of mine that actually his wife has been battling cancer for like the last 2.5, 3 years. And we always checking on her. And I would send him a text every now and then just checking on him. And finally we reached out to him, got him out, we went got a little something to eat, had a cigar, we had a drink. And this dude, he just, all of a sudden he couldn't stop. It just came out. He had a lot on him because he's been, you know, supporting her and everything, not faulting her, nothing like that. But I'm saying sometimes we take on so much, we forget, you know, ourselves, you know, so it's something that I did on the show The Shy this week. I saw they've created a thing where they put these brothers all together in a circle and they're talking, and there was a son and a father there, and both of them was talking about how the father was saying this type of stuff, and then the son was like, well, you know, I wouldn't know that, you know, because you wasn't around. He came around after he became grown. You know, in these type of situations, you know, stay on people and weigh them down. And I'm trying to figure out what ways do you guys think that we could somehow help the men in our community that's going through something?
Well, tell them to stop jerking off the thoughts and masturbating, losing your job. You gotta have mental health to do that, right?
Appreciate
not
that.
Not hitting women in the face with bricks for not saying hi, like all that. Like,
in a situation like that, coping skills come into play, and then everybody needs somebody. Everybody need a soundboard, right? So if you're the one that's always looking out for somebody, you're the one that someone's always calling. Who's calling to check on you, right? So you got to have good mentors. You got to have a soundboard. You got to have people that you can trust and reach out to allow that. And if you feel you don't have that person, then you have to seek counsel from someone and have that in confidentiality and things of that nature. Because you said something that was key. He poured out and he poured out and he poured out. He didn't want you to do anything. He wanted you to listen. That's it. He wasn't asking for advice. He just needed to share that. And once you have that, and once you get that off, your chest, then you know what to do moving forward from that, because that's your guy, right? Mm-hmm. So I need to check on him more. Even if he don't reach out to me, I need to check on him more. I need to find a way to get him out the house. I need to do these kind of things and stuff like that. And that's just, you gotta have it, man. And if you don't, it's gonna be a burden. I had the same situation last time I was here. I was telling you about my dad, right? My dad was diagnosed with cancer, and then I moved him and my mom in my house. For 6 months, I watched this man not make any excuses about his condition of having cancer. I watched him do all these things and all that. I didn't know I was stressing out because I was taking care of him and my mom, right? And then I went to the hospital myself, and the doctor say, "What, you trying to join him?" I'm like, "What you talking about?" He say, "Your blood pressure high and all kind of stuff, boy, you going through it." I didn't know it. How would I know that? Because I didn't took on this as an everyday situation. It became normal to me, right? And so when he told me that, I had to sit back, and I had time. I spent like a week and a half in the hospital. I sat back and I was thinking about it. I say, you know what? I get it. You know what I'm saying? And then I got a good support system. We talked and all that stuff. So, but if I never get that off my chest or never do anything like that, guess what? I fall in the same situation, because how can I try and help somebody and I'm not healthy myself?
I think a lot of the times what the problem is that too many people focus on the problem and not the solution, right? So when my boys call me, yo, you got 1 or 2 times to tell me the problem. We're not going to keep harping on this problem. Like, all right, so what's the solution? What we going to come up with? Let's fix it. Mm-hmm. And I think that if they continuously do that, and it's just like, that's why they end up in a dark place. Because you're not trying to get yourself out of the situation.
Some feel that they can't talk to someone either. I mean, so the man ego thing, right? Yeah. The man ego thing will allow you to not go, into the religion thing and stuff like that. The ego, that means edging God out. Because when your mom was pregnant with you, she trusted God to allow everything to be developed and all that stuff. And then when we born and we get to a certain age, then we think we can figure it out ourselves.
Mm-hmm. You know what I think is being a friend, what you got to do? As a friend to your friends, you got to be fully transparent with your life. So it makes them even more comfortable to tell you stuff. Because some of the stuff I tell my boys, people like, you just said that? Yeah, like I ran out of Vaseline, I had to use sorry. But like these situations, like you got to be transparent. Yeah. You got to talk to your people. Not a pause, it's me with my hand.
But that is,
we love each other.
That does,
I'm grown.
You're right. That's one way to get people to actually, that is one way to get people to actually open up, is by opening up to them. I know you got something.
I think, like I said, I worked around it for years, and the Republican candidate, Visick, the Indian American guy, that's one thing he was talking about. Then I'm not pushing Republican, it could be a Democrat, but what he's talking about doing is revamping, because the Republicans are the one that screwed over mental health care in America. It was done under Ronald Reagan when the air traffic controllers went on strike that time, and he brought them back. Part of the things he did after that was take away federal funding to states for mental health care, and it's never been corrected. And we just went through a period that's unprecedented, a time where people, basically the whole world's depressed at the same time because of COVID. And there's not enough mental health care to go around. So the people aren't out there. There's no mechanisms. The 911s are getting inundated with callers. There's more suicide. There's more suicide among teenage African Americans. It's just out there. So I think it's something that needs to be addressed on a federal level, because the state does not have the money to take care of that issue. And as far as helping people, I've been on all the ends of it. As SWAT commander, I've been there where we had to either watch somebody in their own life, suicide by police, or sometimes we had to take a deadly force action. So when you're in those situations, it never ends well, so it's better to try to stop it before. When somebody cries out for help, answer it. Nobody here, I mean, I've had to talk to people for hours. Some SWAT calls go for 24 hours, and you have a hostage negotiator talking, and I'm sitting up there listening to them. I've rolled up on calls first where I had to initiate it. But the thing that rings true with all that is when somebody cries for help, answer it. You're not being a friend if you and me are talking on the phone and you tell me, Mike, I can't do it no more. I think I might kill myself. You're not being a friend if you think you're Doogie Howser or whatever show you worked and gave you some ideas, and I try to administer what I know to you, and then 3 days later you blow your brains out or do whatever. Don't do it. Call 911. Get the people, because it's going to get locked down for 24 hours. And what happens a lot of times when people have an opportunity to talk to somebody that's not attached to the situation so they can't be judged, a lot of times they're honest and they will ask for the help. Or if not, when they answer a few questions, they might say he's a card carrying 24, which is the minute person on call signals. So he may have to stay, but he's getting the help. You're not helping somebody by not. So what if you and me don't talk no more if I kept you from killing yourself? And that's how more people have to look at it.
You know what else is real about that though? And what the problem is really is right now, there's too much jealousy and envy out there, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's looking at somebody else's life and trying to feel like why my life ain't where their life is. You understand? So they're not being real. Everybody want to be the same. When I grew up, we grew up in a time where we respect individuals, and that's what made you cool. Is you being you doing that, like you the dude, you got locks, you got glass. That's my homie over there, he doing this. This is my homie over here that wear rosary beads. That's my homie right there, you know what I'm saying? That's my homie Mike over there, he always got his arms out. That's Mike, you know what I mean? Everybody doing their own thing. And that was the dopest thing about being at the community, you know what I'm saying? And I think that everyone wants to be the same, so that's a problem.
All right, Vic, we got a lot of comments. I'm gonna see if I can. Actually, I'm gonna hit the comments when we come back from the next one because I want to keep this one going into the next thing. But I like everything. I really like what you said in regards to opening up to people so that they can feel comfortable to open back up to you. Because let's face it, nobody goes from. I ain't gonna say nobody, but most of us won't go from sitting here and going to see a mental health professional. Mm-hmm. There has to be. It shouldn't, but it is because, as you said, the ego in black men, we just won't take that big of a step. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes you have to actually release, like my man released to me that night. Mm-hmm. What I'm hoping happens with him, actually I'm hoping that was enough. Mm-hmm. But if it's not, because he told me that he felt better. He told me the next day, so I'm hoping that he'll say then, wow, if I felt better talking to somebody that's not a professional, what would I feel like actually going and talking to a professional? Yeah. Because not enough. I mean, Vic, and I'm gonna get to your comment, Vic. You know, it's hard for somebody to just go from being, which is what most of us are. Black men. We're trying to be the caretaker. We're trying to take care of everything, every little thing. We're trying to take care of it. You're trying to make sure that your mom is right, your dad is right. Trying to make sure your sister is right, your cousin is right, your aunt is right. We all take on that type of responsibility, and what happens is it keeps rolling and rolling and rolling, and not talking to nobody. Then all of a sudden it pops and comes out. What you hope is that it actually just comes out as a conversation or an angry argument, and not something where you're actually killing yourself or killing somebody else. We're going to continue this. We'll be right back. Classic Conversations with JT and Lo.
And that's a cut.
Yeah, it happens. ain't got time to be listening to no motherfucking excuses. You better get it together. But I took that along with what I've learned and what I was taught and flipped it to be more caring, more attentive, more affectionate, and do all those things so you can get to the point of helping.
All right, y'all, we back, man. I've always said, the conversations in between the segments get crazy. This one they actually got deep,
inspirational.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go over some of these comments real quick here. I went too far. You better know your hoes. We already went through that.
Check.
Number one, he has started. She said, "I hope your friend gets the help he needs." He was actually in a facility. Just got back out Monday. Other than text, I haven't talked to him. I'm letting him get reacclimated. My plan was to reach out to him tomorrow. Unc said mental health must be addressed by the black community. Been a stigma for too long. Help your crazy relatives out. Don't let them be a victim of the police or society. And this is what my man Vic, friend of the show, he said it's easier said than done. It's depending on how much you have on your plate. I've been there after coming home from Iraq and going through my divorce, and you can have a lot on you, and sometimes it's not that easy to ask for help. And Vic, you know what? You're right, but at the same time, we have to stop using that. But you're right, but we can't. If we keep saying that, then the people that don't think that is going to latch on to that, and they're never going to ask for help. They're going to use that excuse. Now, again, I'm saying, me and you have talked. My man Vic, we've talked a lot. I know some of the things that he's been through, and it's not easy, especially a man that's, like you say, he been there Iraq. He did 20 years in the military. He's supposed to be able to handle this. So, so I get it. It's not that easy to say, yo, I'm not feeling right. In his mind, he's thinking, I'm supposed to feel right. Shoot, I was a leader of men. Yeah. How can I not feel right? So I get that part, but we have to, I just really, I love what you said. And I've done that, but I've never actually thought about saying it out loud to people, is that if you will open up, and I ain't saying tell your business to everybody now, because everybody don't need to know your business, and you probably can't help everybody. So, but to be able to actually, open up to somebody, and you were saying about crying out for help, sometimes it might not be a direct cry, but if it's a friend of yours and you know their mannerisms, you know what they do, then all of a sudden, he drunk. That dude ain't never got drunk. Yeah, it might happen once, but now all of a sudden he's been drunk 2 or 3 times. There's cries for help that's not cries for help, as in saying I need help or I'm gonna kill myself. Sometimes self-medication. If you're a friend, you can sometimes recognize, the changes in people. So, reaching out to the people that's always reaching out to people, something like that. I try and send text messages. I mean, I see you every week, but I try and just, if something, I'm trying to get better at it, and I hope this message gets secure. Yeah, if something comes up that reminds you of somebody, yo, what's up, bro? How you doing? And I usually put in, black man check-in, because I don't want you to think I'm getting in any business that you might have going on. Who knows? They may be stuck into a little drama at that time. Who knows? Somebody may have said he been cheating, or his girl something, and now he thinks, oh, his cat just reaching out to be nosy. So that's why I always say black man check-in.
How drunk is a guy when he get drunk?
Drunk to where he's drunker than what you usually know him to be.
Drunk, like drunk, like
mumbling type. I'm sure that some people that can get toe up and they fine the next day.
Me.
Yeah. Okay, so see now, if you, now that I know you get drunk all the time,
I don't get drunk all the time.
I know that, but I know if you get drunk, that's not a cry for help.
Well, it depends. How drunk am I?
But again, you have to know the person to know their normalities. You know if one of your boys is drunker than usual, more than you.
So let me ask a question. When do you say to yourself that if you're talking to somebody, one, we got to understand that I'm good at this. I can help you as much as I can, and if I see it's not getting there, yo, dog, you got to go talk to somebody. You know, and I feel like too many times everybody wants to be the savior, right? We all can't be the savior. Like, I'm not equipped for what you need. I'm helping you. I'm telling you I love you. I got love for you, but you got to go see somebody.
Yeah, JT mentioned that. Yeah,
you got, and it's like I had to go see somebody. I went, and she kicked me out. Said I'm beyond help.
That's tough.
What?
But you still here.
I'm still here. He said he beyond help.
It worked.
Yeah, she said something wrong with this dude.
But I think one thing that can help lift it in the African American community, I know churches, I know you have the big black mega churches now that are so big, but that used to be one of the jobs of a pastor of a church, was to be a counselor, marriage counselor, and things of that nature. So if we brought that back, but we definitely need to put it on, I know I toot the Atlanta Police horn a lot, but the Atlanta Police has a very good employee assistance program where it's not just you wait on the suicide tip, but I know a lot of young police officers and older police officers that took their lives. And that's one of the worst feelings as a supervisor, somebody under. It never happened to me, but I know supervisors that were heavily affected by that. And I think that the stigma's off of it, because I remember the first time I got in a shooting and somebody passed, I went to work literally the next day. And everybody was breaking their hand on my back, saying, good look. And that's everything but what I feel. And you had, like you said, keep that machismo up. And the last time, I'll say her name, shout out Dr. Bradford. When I got in a shooting incident, she basically told me I wasn't all right and gave me the opportunity, reached out to me. I talked to her, and we ended up talking about every damn thing else that had gone on in my life. And that's when I found out about the importance of it, because the shooting, didn't bother me that much. And but what bothered me was things that were already going on in my life. And it's just like pressure of how to handle things when everybody, because when you have a command and everybody in that command comes with you with their problems, you have the white shirts, as we call it, lieutenant, the white shirts want certain demands of you. You have to make sure the numbers are right. You have to make sure your people are right. And sometimes your family gets left out of it. And then you got to haul ass at work, because I'm a single dad, cook dinner for the boys, and then go to maybe an extra job, come back that morning, make sure breakfast and different things, and make sure you hit all the games. So that's a lot of pressure. And the mistakes, the failed marriage that you can attribute part of it to the police department. So I know how it feels. And we don't have enough people giving testimony. But I think if, as a people, we start, like actual therapists.
She'll be here next week.
Matumbo Coffee, you gonna bring him?
That
me.
But Mike,
blame it on him.
You said something there, because I whatever issues you have right now, it's not gonna go away because you went to counseling. Mm-hmm. The thing is, you said something, because when I went to counseling, this is what I found out. It's the stuff from the past that you have locked down in here, so that when this new stuff comes in, there's no room for you to be able to handle that, because internally you don't even realize that other stuff is still there. And it's usually when you go, because people don't really talk about their past when they're talking to friends. They just letting out what's going on right now.
It's what's current.
But when you go to a professional, man, they pull that thing out of you.
Because you got to get there.
Talking about like, man, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, wow, Dr. Bradford cut through all my bullshit. Yeah. She was just like, she'd ask these questions, and she was like, it's like we're playing tennis. She'd serve it up, and I'm a professional. I get on the stand all the time, and I was serving them back, and I volleyed, and all of a sudden she's like, bang! Straight down the middle. I couldn't hit it. And then she kind of held me to it, to hold my foot. And she remembered the protections I put up. So she remembered that lie I told to get off that certain topic. And she circled back around and asked that question. And pretty soon, like, fuck, I just got to be honest. Yeah, you open up about it, and it's a floodgate. It's like she told me when you get in a shooting situation, it doesn't affect you right then. But I can remember exactly where I was, Redan in South Harrison, when it hit me. And that was months later. But everybody's telling you it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And just because they tell you good shoot, somebody still lost their life. That's somebody's child. And I know half of people in America think police officers want to go out there and kill people. That's not what we want to do. But I know people in my command, some of them that, SWAT, that's what SWAT, people think that's what SWAT does. No, SWAT saves life. We talk more people down. We have the hostage negotiators are great. I had one called Dace, and they're not married with I won't say their name out. But anyway, they're both great at what they do. And that's what, people don't see in law enforcement. In law enforcement, a lot of times those officers carry guilt, carry everything because they're counselors. When you go to a domestic situation, you talk to the husband, you talk to the wife, you maybe even have to talk to the kids because they're on the daughter about something, and you're making impromptu decisions right there, but you're not trained. And you
and you're taking all that in.
Yeah, and you're taking all of it in.
Everybody. Everybody's on, all those are on your shoulder.
Yo, it's real, Mike, man. I mean, I'm just glad you stopped at 2 instances, because if you went one more, I would never argue with you again. You stopped at 2. I'm glad you stopped at 2. I like debating with you, but if you would have kept going, bro, I'd be like, all right, nah, I don't want no flashbacks. I fit the description.
All right, two comments, and then we're going to get on to the top 5. Vic says, especially when you're serving in the military, this is what we just spoke about. You're in a leadership role, and you sometimes have no one to talk to because you have your soldiers looking up to you for guidance and leadership while being a leader. So that's what we was just talking about, So not only do you have the regular machismo of being a black man, now you have the machismo of being the leader of men in the military. Kiki said, as a friend, you got to know when to listen to your friends and not just hear them. Listen for the jokes that really ain't jokes, because some people laugh their way through things that they really don't think is funny. But that's the only way they know how to get it out.
That's a good one, Kiki.
But if you brush it off, you may have missed that very important moment to save their lives. And, all of us don't have friends that you shouldn't have, I don't know, maybe you should, but most people don't have 8 people that they just rock with all the time to where they know all their mannerisms. But the ones that you do, like she said in regards to the jokes, you know who in your crew is a comedian and who's not. And all of a sudden now they're trying to be funny. That might be something you need to look at. My man, he's high, then he's low. I got to the house and I'm hugging him, and he was telling me, he was crying. He was like, man, I know you got your own problems. I know you there for me, but yada, 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 yada. And then he backs up and is like, yo, my bad. I ain't mean to mess up your shirt. How did you go from that to this?
Yeah.
And
that's that ego again.
How did you go from that? But that's what he said. He said the doctor told him, you're like way up, and when you go down, you way down.
Yeah.
And at the time, everything seemed to be going good for him, and his wife said he was sitting down looking at football, and next thing she know, he was drunk and saying nobody cared about him, and it went from there. So.
Yeah, plus you got to look at it because I took in counseling as a peer rep and peer counselor, and when you go to those and you're getting to training, and then the whole time you're in training, as you can attest to, you hearing people when the counselor's talking. And I know one thing to look for is people tell you, but they don't tell you. And you got to take the time to listen when people tell you. And the biggest thing is when you tell a friend you're gonna call them back. Because you don't want that, because I know it's one of the things, I'm talking that, but somebody that I know was, the person cried for help, they didn't answer, and the person ended up committing suicide. So that's something you got to carry. So when people ask, answer. If you're truly a friend.
You remember Angelo had the story where the girl called him, and he just happened to answer the phone and talk to her, and then later on he talked to her, and she said, if you hadn't answered that phone, I don't know what was going to happen to me that day.
See?
Angelo had no idea.
You never have an idea of when things like that is going to happen.
I'm bad for not answering phones. I hope that person don't call
You said something good, though, JT. I think they need to bring it back. You got to bring the hug back, right? Like, people need hugs.
Well, just speaking to each
give them
other.
a hug. Yeah, you told you love them, give them a hug.
Yeah. And when he got out, he sent me a message with the prayer hands, and I just texted him back, and I said, I love you, bro. That was it. Said, a little later, I said, man, settle in and we'll talk later, getting back home. So listen, man, next week, we're going to have a professional up here. We giving you some stuff that we think that you could do as non-professionals. But we're actually going to have a professional up here to kind of break some things down. Probably going to help us out. That's what we're hoping to do. So we're going to move on now, man, to the top 5.
Top 5. My first time doing top 5.
Ascot got his own top 5. So
this is going to be a goal.
Look, he ain't got to Google nothing, so we ain't going to see no wider watches or nothing like that. So go ahead, brother. What's your top 5?
For the first time, one I just can straight up say off the top of my head. We're going to do top 5 R&B groups.
Top 5 R&B groups.
So
top 5 R&B groups.
So you want to let Dwayne go first like he usually do, or you want to spit yours off since you done say I had thought about it for the last 20 minutes?
No, man, it's easy. Well, now this isn't in any order, and I've changed it like 19 times in my mind, but I got to go with Shalimar.
Okay. Nice.
Rolls Royce. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
This is where it gets hard, but I can go from what I grew up listening to, my dad and my cousins and everybody. I can go high school, and I'm gonna go to high school. I gotta go with Cameo and Gap Band.
Okay.
You just took mine. You just took the Gap.
You ready, bro? You ready, Don? You got yours?
Man.
He Googling them.
No,
I'm good.
I'm about to say, don't say why to listen.
Hey, look, I know y'all can't really see this. JT covering this list up.
Oh yeah.
with a card.
JT covering this list up. Last time I was on, we did the top 5, and he was looking at me. He's like, "Come on, dog, like you killing me right now." All right, let's go with this top 5 right here. Let's go with the time.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Morris Day and the time. We
What the hell you see over here? Go ahead.
It's the glasses.
That's good.
We're gonna go with the time. The time. We're gonna go with New Edition
Okay, forgot about that. Yeah.
with Bobby Brown.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right,
with Bobby B.
All right.
We're gonna go with the Temptations.
Okay.
So you can tell we both got gray hair.
Yeah, got to go with Hall & Oates.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. That's
I
a
got
good
to
one.
revamp my whole list.
Number one, and nobody said this, and I think I should just leave. Prince and the Revolution.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Look, I ain't write that one down because I thought somebody might see me writing it down. All right. Man.
Oh no, I'm a Prince fan. But I was just thinking
Purple Rain.
All right. Go ahead, home.
Oh,
What
that's
you got,
the worst
Sean?
one.
Wow, what I got?
Yeah.
He got New Edition. That's one of mine. The Stylistics. Yep. I actually opened up for them before. Them dudes. Yeah, it was a concert in Brooklyn. They opened up for them, and I was impressed by the way they were just still doing the same like rituals and all that before moves. And it was crazy. And of course, the Temptations, right? And then Mobb Deep.
I knew it was gonna be a rap
What?
group. No, it's a rap group.
Shook Ones.
You know what? I'm surprised that it wasn't all 5 hip hop. I promise you, that's what I thought you would come up and be like Houdini.
Nah. The Beach
You don't know
Boys.
nothing about Houdini.
Nah.
Beach Boy, come on, bro. I'm gonna take your mic.
Yo, what happened? You ain't like the Beach Boys? Oh, y'all racist. Surfing USA.
I can't even say what I want to say.
That's R&B.
I'll hold it till after the mic go off.
Yeah, that's R&B. Yeah.
All right, okay. That was your 5, right? That was 5.
I got 5?
That was 5, yeah, because we're gonna let you go.
And the whole
with
of
Mobb
Bad
Deep.
Boys, Biggie Small. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right, number 1, go to the list. Number 1 got the Shy-Lights, the Stylistics, New Edition, New Birth, and the Temptations. Her honorable mentions are the Supremes and Boys the Men. Vic has the Bee Gees, Earth, Wind, and Fire, OJ's, and Troop.
Yeah, Saturday Night Fever was one of the top
took
albums
all
of all
mine.
time.
I mean, I would actually be telling a lie right now if I tried to get off my list. Yeah, I am. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
The Gap Band.
Yep.
Woo.
Well, you got it written down. You can look at
Yeah.
it.
Had 'em all.
And you don't have to hide it no more. We already all went.
Yeah. Tony.
Those are groups of songs.
Oh, bro. Yeah. Tony was already there. Tony was already there. Yeah, so Tony. Of course, New Edition is number 1 to me.
Mm-hmm.
And one more. I'm going to go with the Commodores.
Commodores, okay.
Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom.
Rick. You said the Gap Band. Mm-hmm. That one, it's a verse in one of the Gap Band songs that is legendary. Go ahead.
Honorable mention, SOS Band.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My honorable mention, mint condition.
You told me to go up the block to get you a strawberry pop. When I came back to the flat, you burnt rubber out the back. When I went upstairs, saw the clothes, all I seen was hangers and poles. I went to the phone and called your mother and told your mother you burned rubber on me.
I do it.
Charlie.
Wow.
Burn rubber on me. That's the Gap Band. Listen to that song again. That song tough.
Is it still on?
Burn rubber on me.
Yeah.
Burn rubber on me.
That's up.
Ooh, that song
What about
tough.
2 Live Crew?
Yeah.
You always got to pop that thing.
We'll do hip.
Right? So it makes it like doing
That's
the
not
butt.
R&B.
No. That's hip. That's R&B. Doing the butt. Sexy.
That's EU.
Huh?
That's EU.
All right, let's go
That's
to you.
EC.
Let's go to you.
That's it, you.
That's all these songs is about. Yes, thank you. Luke, yes, that was one of the greatest R&B bands. Oh, man.
Luke and the 2 Live
What about
Crew.
Akinelli? Put it in your mouth. I'm sorry. That's R&B.
She say wrap it up.
Look,
You
exactly.
can take it at.
Wrap it up.
We can
Pun intended. Wrap it
wrap
up.
it up. We can dig it, we can love it, we can taste it.
Bo
Don't
P.
let me drip drop, don't you waste it.
What up?
That's R&B.
What you got for me, bro? How everybody follow you and everything and all that good stuff. Did you bring the tea bags?
Yeah, I got something for you.
Bring the coffee.
Yeah, I got something for y'all, man. I ain't gonna never come without bearing gifts now. You know
I work from home all day now, so
You know,
I
I
need coffee.
gotta come bearing gifts.
sir.
You
Good-
know,
good
if you
stuff.
don't come bearing gifts, you don't
Good
don't
stuff.
mean nothing.
Good stuff. So go and let everybody know how to follow you and everything.
At Dace on Instagram, Don Dace on Facebook, then go to Matumbo Coffee on IG.
Matumbo Coffee.
You wanna that mic hot? Oh, okay. Come right here real quick.
Slide up.
Come right here real quick.
Be careful, you on cord. I don't know what cord it is.
We're pulling someone up.
Yeah, so real quick, man, this is the young lady that is professional in this thing. Like I said, we gave you what we thought that could help. This is a professional. I just want her to introduce herself and something about her field, and then we want y'all to tune in next week so you can get the real part of it.
Absolutely. My name is Dr. Cynthia Williams. I am a grief counselor, and I literally help others understand their grief. My challenge for everyone is childhood trauma. So I make sure that they understand exactly where they've come from to where they are now and where they're going. So I believe that, and it was interesting. I was listening to you all, and I really had to say this because for Black men, they are becoming more clients these days than ever. But we have to have accountability partners. Like, we have to be mandated to that. You have to have a friend that you say, trust me, and just only trust me, and I'm gonna trust you. So we have these dates with other Black men where you just put everything to the side, no phone zones, and we talk about our pains. And then we help each other know that I'm normal and that you're normal, and us not telling each other what we pain from is abnormal. You got to start teaching people how to love again. And because they came without love, they think the people that they join forces with, wives and girlfriends, are those that are going to teach them how to love. But you got to unlearn the broken love that you came from.
See? Boy, next week, it's going to be crazy.
Message.
It's going to be crazy. So I saw you shaking your head when I said something about the shy.
Yes.
So you saw that episode?
That is so profound. They've did it these last couple of episodes. That was one of the most, Lena did something with that.
Yeah, she
just
did.
bringing all the men together.
And how the first time it was just 5.
Yeah.
This time it was
It's
like
growing.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
I actually posted it. Yeah, I posted it this week for this show.
Yeah.
I was looking at it and I stopped it and I had to rewind it and take a picture of that. It was that picture of all of them just sitting there.
Yeah.
There was a drug dealer. There was a congressman. There was a dude that cheated on his wife and then remarried to her.
Mm-hmm.
There was another guy that got 6 kids and he ain't number 20-something years old, but now he's a business owner. It was all right.
Profound.
Well, I get this
Yeah.
hand. The
Crazy.
drug dealer cheating on
Profound.
wife was on this side of the table, and then the congressman was on that side.
Yeah, actually the congressman.
No,
was sitting here.
he put the congressman over. Why I gotta be the drug dealer?
It was
Hey. She gonna have a lot to say. She's at my show. I ain't know you was a doctor. Oh, I ain't coming next week. Because she gonna see my whole. She like, oh yeah, it's on now because he got problems. Yeah. She keep looking at me when she talk about it too. You see it? I was messing with both of them. I knew she was a doctor.
Some of us have somewhere to go. Sugar Sean, what you got?
Hey,
He should have told me she's a
listen,
doctor.
seriously, I think next week it's gonna be yours.
Okay.
So, wow, that's gonna be dope right there. We're gonna start. Make sure you get all your information to her so we can start getting this thing out there. So yeah, we can get that going. So appreciate you coming up and
it's my
talking to
pleasure.
us real quick. So again, next week we're gonna have you up. That's gonna be dope. Oh yeah.
I'll call in.
All right. So Sugar Sean, what you got, bro? What you got going on?
I don't want to say no more. There's a doctor here. I don't know. Anything I say, she might be like, he's lying. I heard him on stage. He's got all kinds of issues. He's very transparent. He didn't lie about that. He tells us everything. Now, what's going on is, every Tuesday night, I'm over here at the Uptown. I mean, we just kicked in the door doing our own independent project. So, can't talk too much about it. Got an NDA. But other than that, we just, we get ready for us to change the game. Because what we just did, boy, woo-wee, it's on.
Yeah, because I saw you post a little bit, so go on talk about what you getting. I saw you getting the makeup on, getting your little film.
Oh, yeah.
Go on talk about
they
it.
put the makeup on him, man. You know how that go. You gotta keep this smooth. She said, I ain't even need too much because my skin, I got good skin. Talk to me nice. I got good skin. She said, you don't need to work that hard because you got good skin. I said, ooh, I got good skin.
So you want to talk about that?
See, why you gonna do that, man? Why you gonna take it away from me and say she say it to everybody? But why would you do that? But, I mean, just because she told you the same thing, it made me. Can I stay in my moment? See, this is why we need mental health, because when you got friends like this, he just brought me down. I was on a high. He brought me down.
So you wanna talk about that project? Or you
we can't really talk too much about that project. You just put the money on, we got it done. It's gonna be amazing. We got some real actors, some real good people in it. People that are that are known, and we just. My brother and myself and my brother Ben, we kicked in the door. So it's a beautiful thing. I'm just excited with my good skin.
My man Mike.
She said that to
What you got, dog?
Hey, it's the same thing as last week. We gotta stop the violence. It's ridiculous in Atlanta. If you own a gun and you can help people out. There's been a lot of shootings recently in Atlanta. Can't talk about all of them because it's too many. But a lot of it's just having a gun and not being mentally stable. I want you to talk about that next week also. And I think after COVID, those 2 years, everybody's cooped up. A lot of people lost jobs. A lot of people had to finally spend time with themselves. And they found out they fucked up. And a lot of people didn't like themselves. And when the conflicts come now, people aren't throwing nuts. People aren't threatening to go to the car. They got it on their side because the governor said it was okay. So we have a lot more shootings that it's really decent people. Not saying anybody is decent to shoot somebody, but it's somebody that made a rash decision because they didn't understand the responsibility of gun ownership. That's all I got.
Yeah, some people just need to be shot though.
Yeah, we've been there before.
I just shoot them like they just don't. They're sorry.
Hey man,
Terrible people out there, man. Evil.
First off, man, I can't believe y'all shot a whole movie and you ain't holler at me. We'll talk about that another time.
Damn, you know what's so crazy? I ain't been here in a while, and you ain't holler at me, so we even. Yeah.
I wasn't doing a comedy show.
You do a podcast. That part. You do a podcast. You do a podcast. I've been here in 5 months. I ain't hear from you.
He had me in there.
Yeah. Mike knew what was going on. He called me all the time. Yeah. See, that's how you're supposed to check in on people to find out what they do. You say you do a good job, you did a bad one with me. All right, let's go.
Well, I'll tell you.
Man down.
Yo, so, oh no, not at all. So listen, again, real good friend of mine, man. And this is the second time that he's attempted this. The first time, I was one that actually showed up to call 911. This time, there was actually people there with him, so by the time that I showed up, the paramedics and everything had gotten there. But again, and this is somebody that I, reach out to, but again, I just think we have to start creating a space, and I started talking about this after I did the play. We have to start creating a space for black men to feel and heal. And it doesn't have to be a professional space. It could be in your backyard. It could be at Quick Trip. It could be in the parking lot out here. But we have to start creating that space. And it doesn't take a lot of people to do it, man. If it's 3 people, I don't know if 2 people, I don't know the number, but it doesn't take that much to do it. And I just feel that we need to make sure that we do that more. Sugar Sean just called me out, so I'm gonna start texting him, getting on his nerves. I'm gonna text him because Angela said you start talking a lot. Now I gotta get off the phone.
Oh yeah, text me. I'm busy. Yeah.
JT, to piggyback off what you said right there, like people always ask, how can you help, and what are some of the things that we need to do? Your presence is a present, because if you're present, you see and you can learn that behavior. And you see those things, and you see the things where they transition. It's not what somebody continues to do, it's when they change up. That's when you can notice certain things. And so just be present as possible, along with your own storms and things of that nature, and just try and help. That's it. You can just try. Because some people may not even know how to help, and they're helping to the capacity of what their capabilities are. So we can't fault someone for not being able to take on that challenge and carry that all the way through. They may be able to carry it up to a point, and then someone else can step in and bring it on home. So
next week, man, we're gonna have somebody. Here you go. See her. She's gonna be here next week, so we're gonna be able to talk to this thing. We're gonna do the whole show basically on mental health. So I think it's gonna be pretty tight. We're gonna make. I seriously, man, if you know somebody that needs to watch this show, reach out to them. My Facebook page is public, so anybody that wants to see it, all you have to do is go to the page. If you need for us to share it to your page, let us know. We can share it to your page. I think this is going to be one of the most important shows that we have done. Shout out to my people. Power in Black Tees, powerandblacktees.com. They came up and blessed everybody on the show before. I went out to the warehouse, black-owned business. They blessed me with the shirt, and I love the shirt, as you can see. Always stop and say a prayer and always stop and pray ASAP. That's easy enough to remember. So shout out to them, appreciate you. And I think that's gonna do it for us, man.
Mr. Will.
Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
And that's a cop.
And we out. You dig?
Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way to rattle it. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way to rattle it. It's gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with JT and Low. Conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with JT and Lo.